Y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Balls. Bull proud.
Sorry.
History in the making.
The lady and the gentleman.
Really? Really, sick? Really? That's how we gonna do it.
How about you guys? For the people.
Wow. This is the lady takeover. So we're just gonna call it the lady and the gentleman, the ladies takeover. Because I have a room full of beautiful ladies that's gonna be talking about an amazing topic. And we kicked Jock out, so he's not here. So really? That's when I do. I go on vacation for a week and then come back and take over the show. I like that. I like my outfit. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, we'll have men on later, but right now, no. It's not how we do it. But since I did say we have ladies in, I'm gonna allow them to introduce themselves. So we'll just go around the table.
Okay, I'll go first. My name is Latoya, aka Latoya, right?
My name is Sheldon, aka Shelda.
You didn't have an AKA?
This is Tasha, aka Tosh.
This is D. Willie.
Hey.
All right. So the topic today is going to be what women want. So I know people have seen the movie that came out with Taraji P. Henson. I was like, let's do a play on that and get some ladies in to talk about what is it that we really want. So we'll start off though. You know, guys, we're not here to bash you. So please, we're not here to bash you. We're going to do pros, cons, and everything else. There has been wine poured, so FYI, fellas, sorry. And a bottle was gone before I could even get to,
Wait a minute.
Yeah. I mean, it was split up. It wasn't one person.
Okay.
Right.
You know?
Let's not point the finger.
Okay.
I just say it was a group effort, but I'm just saying it's just nice to have one bottle at least. But anyways, so my first question to you ladies is let's start off positive. What is it? let's start off here positive. What is it that you, I guess, like that you're getting from the fellas? What is it that you do like? The likes. We're gonna go with the pros, cons. Don't all speak at once.
Chivalry.
That's a good one.
Men that actually open the door. Whether it's just men in general, opening doors, knowing when to let a woman walk before them, not walk on the outside of the curve, things like that. I think also being respectful to women in general. So it's not like you just being respectful to somebody that's your friend, but being respectful to all women in general. I like that men take care. I have a lot of guy friends, so outside of my husband, so I have. I feel like
that's probably what I should have said. We have a married, we have singles, dating, so we got a wide range of females here. So yeah.
But I think it's good. Most of the men that I hang around, I would say all the men that I hang around, I feel like they take care of me. Like I don't have to touch a door. It doesn't have to be somebody I'm with. I don't have to touch a door. If we go out, they normally pay for stuff first, and I have to sneak to the bar to go buy around.
Right.
Things like that. I think those are good. Also, not talking down to women, even being like in the same field as far as work, or being in different fields, just being good motivators and being supportive. I think a lot of times it's good for a man just to show up, just be there.
Yeah.
Not whether they say something or not, but just being present, I think is big.
I like the security, like the feel, the comfort of security.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm good.
Yeah,
that's my biggest thing.
And all types of security, from emotional security, physical security, financial security.
I would say since moving down here, I'm actually learning to have positive and healthy relationships, friendships with men. And so it's weird. Now, I do have more male friends that I'm out here to have, you good? Can I get that for you? And I'm looking at them like,
and they just genuine.
Yeah.
Like they really just looking out for you.
The whole
They not
like,
trying to-
strings
they not
attached
trying
to
to
the whole
sleep with
term
you.
thirst. It's like,
Yeah, they're not trying to holler at you.
genuinely like, yo, you
Right.
good? You all right? You need something?
and so I remember a night out with friends, and it was a male friend of mine, and he was just like, you good? You want something to eat? You want another drink? You want the, and I was just like, so now I'm like a little spoiled.
Hey, the bar.
You're like, that door is not gonna open itself.
And I even went out, like a friend, and I always go with money in hand, and then they'll be, where to come one check, and they're like, one check. I'm like, let me slide it back in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? So I really do appreciate that, and I don't know if that's Southern hospitality, but I would like to say that is just all around good men. You know what I mean? I don't want to just say, it's Southern hospitality and downplay it, but I do appreciate that, and in the sense of, because I'm single. Single.
You can wait for the camera too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm single. Yes. And I just like the fact of even what D. Willie was saying as far as like being chivalrous of the men that are strangers to you, especially black men that are looking, you good, sis? You know what I'm saying? I do like that. And I do feel, I like that sense of protection, even though I may be quote unquote by myself. If I look around and I can, especially down here, I've felt it the most. Because of course I felt it at home. I was from VA. I've been there 15 years. But being here new to Charlotte for 3 years and feeling that same kind of security in a new place, I do appreciate that.
I appreciate
Oh,
a man who's
Close to the mic, please. Thanks.
Mhm.
Y'all might have to bite over it a little bit.
so a man who who's not afraid to ask for help. So he's not too strong to say, you know what, I've never dealt with this type of relationship before, or, I need help with, whether it's applying for a job or, stepping outside of their social setting. Like, they're not afraid to ask for help and say, I haven't been in this situation before. Can you help me with this because you have knowledge in this field?
Right.
So I definitely can appreciate that about a man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with, actually everything you guys are saying, but that same sense of where people like, holler at me if you need anything, and, guys truly being like, I can help you with this, you need this, let me come through for you. Even just like you said, you're out, with your guy friends, or not even, I'll be out somewhere with my girlfriends and see some of my guy friends, and they come, let me get you a drink, you straight, how you getting home, you got
Right.
let me know when you get home, really like you said, the taking care of you kind of part, feeling that security as well. I have to say I really appreciate that.
I mean, we like a good strong arm,
And then when you don't get that, it's hard because like especially with dating, you don't get. So you're not gonna text me and see if I made it home, like So it's kind of like wait.
And honestly, for me, dating, that's interesting because I've had a guy be like, "Oh, so you expect such and such?" I'm like, my guy friends kind of need this to me, so I feel like I deserve it.
Right. Exactly.
So if my friends are doing it for me, why wouldn't you?
And you're supposed to be my friend plus more.
Right.
So I feel like the same thing that my girlfriends do, you should do as a man too.
Right.
But, and it's just different. As my man, there are other things that you add to that. But it should be the same.
It definitely should, because, and for me, I'm looking at, even when I'm not in a relationship, if I am going out with a male friend, I'm very, I guess, traditional in the approach as far as not necessarily submission in the form of I'm lower than you, but the fact that you are like I said, my beliefs, you are the head as a protector. And even if we're not together, I expect you to be that for me. Like I've gone again with that male friend. We'll use that again. Even if I go out with you, if you say, hey, yo, nah, we going over here, I'm gonna follow you. Because I'm living like 7 out and then get knocked my block off.
Right.
No, thank you. I'm a listen. You know what I mean? So there is a level of respect. I believe that even as friendships, like I said, I do take that. Now, of course, it can be abused, but that's a whole nother subject. Yeah. If you show yourself to be that you have my best interest in mind, why wouldn't I want to follow you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is good.
The wine or the
The
conversation?
It's both therapeutic.
Right. This is good.
And she takes it.
Right. Y'all can do this every other week.
So now with that, what can our men improve upon that we just? What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You got it. And the funny thing is, there's actually about to be a male Bible study across the hall in a second. I'm dead serious.
Because I'm single
Jesus, come on.
and I have been chosen from the Lord.
Really?
And I know if you
No, but what is it?
I've been
Honestly,
saved by grace.
what is it that just gets on out? Like, just what is it that men do that just like really?
Can you please text me back? Like,
Shade.
Not the.
can you please no, but for real, like that whole and this is men do it more so than my female friends, but I get, I hate it equally, you know what I mean? But if you say I'm gonna call you back,
Yeah, nobody does that
please.
anymore.
But
nobody's like, oh, I'll call you back and be like 4 days later.
listen, right? That was I mean, it is later. I did say I was gonna call
The worst
you later.
thing is when now somebody says, I'm going to call you
Right back.
Right,
Yes,
right.
Or they give you a time, I'm going to call you back in 10 minutes.
Right. So don't say that. And so that's the thing. Like, my motto is there are too many words in the English language for you to limit yourself
Right.
to these 10 minutes when you know good and well you at work and you probably ain't gonna be able to get away. So I'm gonna call you when I get off. I'm gonna call you, let's catch
Later.
up a little later, or let's do something. But don't say, because when people say I'm gonna call you back, they is not thinking 2 days. They thinking maybe about 3 hours.
Sometime today.
So,
In the
right.
same 24
Before
hours.
the end of the day,
24
yes.
Right, before the end of the day.
So that hurts me.
Well, I have to disagree because I'm one of those that says that. I'm gonna call you back, and to me that's just the end of the conversation. Like we just,
Here we go.
we're ending the conversation, and at some
That's
point I'm
your
like,
life.
at some point in life, I might call you back.
Not in life.
Not in life.
Just don't hang on to me at that moment. Just go ahead and
We
move
won't
on.
agree. We won't Shalanda. No. Sheldon, I'm sorry. That's the
But see, I won't give you a time limit though. That way you're not. Because
She did Shalanda.
said
Whole
Shalanda.
day.
it was confident. It was confident.
It's just
No more 7-Eleven slurs.
I would say a man when he's not honest, like being
Oh, that's a
upfront
good
and
one.
honest.
So,
It may hurt my feelings.
yeah.
so I guess you might have to define what you mean by upfront and honest. Like blunt,
So-
direct, like.
Not necessarily that, but just overall honesty. If I meet you and you're not interested in dating,
Yeah.
then say that.
Oh,
Say I'm not interested in dating, but I'm interested in maybe a friend.
Yeah.
Like just say that. Just
Or
be
casual
honest.
sex.
Or casual
Right?
sex.
No, seriously.
No,
For
seriously,
real,
like, there-
whatever
There are some
you
women out here
are
that's
out
just
there
like, look,
for, just be
all
honest.
you want is a jump out. Bad.
Right.
But I think men tell us what we want to hear
Yeah.
Yeah.
rather than the actual truth because they think they're going to hurt our feelings.
They tell us
Well,
what they think we
newsflash,
want to hear.
Think.
you're going to hurt our feelings. It's okay.
Right.
Like
It happens.
It happens. But I think we would probably rather that you be honest
Right.
than to not.
Waste my time.
Mhm.
True.
No, seriously,
tell
because
them.
if you had to tell me today that you just wanted sex, I could have told you yes or no now versus we 2 weeks into this thing and then now you acting funny and I'm looking at you like,
You could
I
have had a
could've been
coochie
doing-
2 weeks ago on a
Listen.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yes, not a coochie on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
but if you are just upfront And I think I agree with Tosh. Like they don't think that we can handle that blunt truth, and like it does hurt. But I mean,
it's like don't take my choice away.
right,
Correct.
Like let me,
That's
let me. That's the line.
That's the
So let me, let me make that choice.
Yeah.
That if I see you as a cut buddy, I see you as a cut buddy. If I see you as somebody with potential, I see you as somebody with potential. If I see you somebody on a date, let me make that choice.
Right.
Don't just assume,
Right.
oh, she's looking for somebody, so let me tell her that
Right.
I'm interested in dating.
Right.
When you're really not.
Because they want that same
That's
thing.
That's
Yeah. Because they'll say that too.
Yeah.
Don't the choice and all of that stuff.
What do you think the biggest misconception that men have of us?
That
Like-
some women don't just they want more than sex. Some women, like you said, are out here. Because I've hooked up some people before. 'Cause I was
Well, I've
like,
been waiting.
Hey,
no.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Let me finish what I was saying. I've hooked up some
Let me
people.
slide in your DM on my
Awesome.
number so you can hook me up.
Also, I know he only down to have sex, and I know she is too. So cool. I'm gonna link them up.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'm gonna link them up. Like, cool, they gonna work out because I know there's no feelings attached.
Right.
They probably interested in each other physically, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So cool, let them do their thing, and I leave it where it's at. You ain't gotta tell me if y'all did it or not. But I
Right.
think sometimes a lot of men are scared to say those things because they don't know that some women would just want that. Another misconception I think are that we're all strong backbone, independent. We don't need no man.
Yes.
Got a bad attitude. We can live without you, type thing. And there's some women where they have to do that because there isn't a man there. But as soon as the man comes, they can retract real fast. And I think that's a big misconception.
Listen,
Agreed. Because let me tell you something.
come on.
I'm not afraid to say, thanks for passing me. I'm not afraid to say I need a man.
Right.
Like there are
Right.
some things that I do because I have to, because I'm independent and there's no one there.
Right.
But let's be clear that for where I want to be in this journey we call life,
Right.
I need a strong black man, 5'4" and a half, preferably light skin. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Short.
It's like short. Because we in Charlotte. No, I meant 5'4". We in Charlotte. So let's be clear.
5'4" and up.
For a short.
Short, yes. 5'4" is pushing it.
Not pushing me.
That's your height.
That's my height.
That's all right.
That's my height.
Oh, okay.
No, but seriously,
Like
like
it could work.
it could work.
It could.
So,
It ain't gonna work.
So, yeah, so-
y'all can move that way.
Oh,
Yeah, to the left.
She's
Go to the left.
a beautiful Amazon. That's why.
yes.
how tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
Oh, wow.
See?
Look, wow, all of us
I
are
said it
wow.
above. That's nice. Amazon.
And on that note, it's been real.
You're right though. You're right though.
But yeah, like I mean, I need you. Like a strong black man, I do. Strong black man, I do need you.
I'm just saying, I need somebody to
and
help me
so-
with grass at the house.
Yeah, like
I mean,
it's
don't get
things
me
that
wrong.
you
Like
don't
I
like,
got the
you know,
best yard, but it'd be nice to have Bae kind of cut the grass maybe every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Split it up. 'Cause I got to this weekend. I got to do inside the house and outside the house. I'm just saying.
So I'm gonna switch and say, I guess, along the lines of need and want. So my husband will also tell you that he feels like I don't need him because I can operate without him.
Right.
But he feels better that I want him to
Oh,
be there.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
And
okay.
so
Okay. Come on.
it's a little different when you say it's like, and not to say that you don't need him, because in the essence of what marriage really is, you do need him, because if you're going to be married and
Right.
the ultimate thing and according to God and what he has laid out. But I think it's just a different word. And when he said it, I was just like, oh, okay, that makes sense. He was like, I mean, I don't have to be here. He's like, but you don't need me. Like, you have this, you have that, you have all of these things, in which I'm sure everybody in this room,
Right.
you have these things, but you want a man to be there.
Mhm.
You want, to have that love with someone else, you want them to mow the line, you want them and not have to do those things.
Right.
Because either if you do it or you're paying somebody to do that.
Listen.
So it's gonna get done. But if
Yeah.
a man is there, it's kind of like we can have mutual responsibility.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, you know, I wash your clothes. Just go cut the grass real quick.
Right.
I didn't say I wasn't washing nothing, but I mean, I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you're like, I wash the dishes. Now I'm like, oh, you know.
But and you would think that men, I can't say all men, I don't want to couple everybody, but it's just like, I've just had men be like, oh, well, you don't need me, and they're kind of turned off because I don't need them. And I'm like, no, I don't, but I want you though. That should be so much more like out of everything.
Yeah. But sometimes I feel, I'm sorry to interrupt,
No, go
but
ahead.
sometimes I feel like it's just a perception that they have kind of put on themselves. Like, because they see that you appear independent, you appear like you're doing all this thing, and they just assume that you don't need them. But I never said that. It's just like, I mean, like you said, if you're not cutting the grass needs to get cut.
Right.
So
it's going to get done.
it needs to get done. So that's not saying I don't need you to do it. I'd love you to do it.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So I went on a date one time, and I feel like this applies right now. But I went on a date one time, and I'm single again.
Do we just need to go around and just say our status?
We're single. Maybe. I don't know. I know I am. I can only speak for myself. So, but I went on a date one time, and I literally, by the end of the day, I was good. But at the beginning of the day, I legit had an epitome like, yo, I walk mad fast. Like, dude was running past me trying to open the door. And so that, I feel like that kind of fits into that need want. Like, I'm not used to you opening up the door for me.
And as women, we gotta learn that. We have to.
Because if
And
you've
on
been
top
single
of
for a
that,
long, a good
You
amount of
touched it
time,
on
then
first.
that's a tough transition.
let's just move on. So, I just speaking of time, let's just move on. So, but on top of that, I'm a single mother. So that adds another dynamic to the way I move and how fast I move and coming up with that alternative plan and plan B. Oh, your daddy can't come. I got to do this. Okay, this is not working out. Okay, I got to do this. Babysitter got, okay, now I got to call it. Like, I'm used to switching up the plan real quick. So he legit, at one point, we ordered something and it was to go. And I was about to go pick it up. He legit had to, like, block me so he could, like, get it for me. And then I was like, oh, okay. And we were leaving the door. I got to the door first, and I said, oh, wait. Then I backed up. So there's definitely, there's a retraining that has to happen because we've been, that habit.
About retraining.
Yeah. That habit has been formed for, depending on how single you, or how long you've been single, that could be years and years of learning that has to be reversed. So
I got something on
we
that.
definitely do want you. And I feel like to me, that's like a compliment. Out of all these things that I can do, I want you to be there to enjoy it with me.
Exactly.
You know. So
did you communicate that to him? Like, my bad, you know, like communicate those actions that happen. Like, did he know? Because does he see it as, dang, she's so independent, like we just talked about, you know, she ain't even ready for a man, versus, and not saying that you wanted more from him, but just having that open communication with him.
Honestly, I can't remember at this point what happened, because he,
The laugh.
You tried to play me. No, I honestly can't remember because I'll just say he screwed up. I almost said a word, but he screwed up, and so yeah.
So I'm just gonna add this and let Tasha speak because she's trying to take this mic from me. Not just messing. I would just say the transition to start working on your transition now, because my thing is being independent is overrated if you want to be married.
Yeah.
And there's going to be so many things that are very small that you didn't realize that you're independent about. And it could be something as simple as you're used to changing the schedule. When he comes in, it's just like, this is what we're doing. And you already making plan B, C, D. Because you're not used to that.
You have to work together.
And right, but outside of the working together, you were raised to be independent. Your parents raised you that way. So now out of being single,
even
when you were in relationships growing up, you were independent. So it's kind of like however old you are, imagine now you have to, like you said, relearn and retrain, remove all of that, and now you have to be a whole new person. So now you're a newborn that just came out that says, how do I be dependent? Because you're raised to be independent, and now you get married and you have no choice but to be dependent. As you say, the head of the household, and it's hard.
It is hard. Let me again.
Mic drop on.
Listen, look.
I mean, come through marriage.
First of all, I can't come after that.
I'm done.
That was right. Nobody can write you dropping knowledge on us.
It's real. And simple things as like my husband, he ain't gonna listen to this. And because it's more on me than it is him.
Right.
Because he's very patient. Because I'd be like, I don't even know how you deal with me. So it's little stuff where I'm just like, I can't even remember what it was. And he was just like, okay, I'm going to look at it tomorrow. Or he said, I'm going to look at it, don't worry about it. And I was just, and so I'm still looking at it.
Right.
And he was like,
I thought I said
put it down.
Yeah.
Like, if he said he going to, and I'm just like, oh. And so like the next day it was the communication thing. It's like, you know what? I never realized how independent I was until now. And it was little things like that. Because you don't think, because we normally think of big things like opening the door and doing things like that. But we don't think of the little stuff where somebody said they're going to do something and you're so used to getting it done.
Right then.
Right.
Because you're so used to doing it yourself.
When you want it now,
right then.
whatever you want, you can get.
Right.
Yeah.
So now somebody else said they're going to do it, but they're going to do it on their time.
Yeah.
Because nobody's time is ever the same.
Yeah.
I don't care how much you work together.
Nobody's time is ever the same.
Tasha! Mike, there's the mic.
Shame.
Now get your other point.
Shade.
While you were readjusting.
No, I was just, I can't even come after that.
Right. The mic is burning.
I mean, I was just going to say, I'm going to just bash the fellas a little bit more and just say, the only other thing I could think of is someone who's not a good listener. Like, listen, like I hear from my male friends. Well, I say that because I hear from my male friends, it's expensive to date. It's so expensive to date. And then I'll say, well, where'd you take her on a date? And they'll say, oh, I took her to Ruth Chris, and then, we went to a movie. And it's like, well, think about it. What did she say she liked? Right. Like, if you were on the phone with her, talking to her, and you've been talking to her for 2 weeks before y'all went out.
She don't even eat meat.
She don't watch This Is
Us? I do.
Huh? This Is Us, about the whole about the nachos. She just wanted nachos. And he's wanting to take her to this fancy restaurant. Sorry, same thing.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So it's like, listen to what ladies are saying to you, because your first date could be a cheap coffee date at Coco the Director.
Exactly.
And you going to Ruth Chris, and you're like, she don't even care about this type of stuff. She care about sitting up at Coco the Director and having a great time and having conversation. So just
was a day
listen.
Club. Some people ain't heard that play.
It was a day club.
Trade and triumph.
But just something simple. I have to agree with that. Like, simple. I feel like a lot of times, women are giving you like the cheat code. It's just that you just keep missing that.
Come on, girl, speaking that language. Cheat code, like on the video game.
Exactly.
The thing is, I do that up front, and I'm like, because I know me. I know, but I'm very accommodating in a relationship. But I know when I get mad, so I know how to tell you how to, bring me down. So I'll tell you
the cheat code.
Pretty much, like I'll, boom.
This how to deal with me.
I've told guys, like, hey, I'm giving you the answers to the test.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I've said it like that. Like, hey, you have the answers to the test. Go above and beyond. But if you want to fail the test, don't be upset.
Well, and we gotta let them go above and beyond. I get that.
I get going above and beyond.
But don't completely dismiss.
But don't, right. But don't, you can't say you want to go above and beyond in one sentence, and then in the same sentence or the next sentence say dating is so expensive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like,
but above and beyond is
for
not
a date.
Huh?
Above
Correct.
and beyond is
But
not
that-
monetary.
but that's my
the
point.
thing. Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
I couldn't
So
wait
you
for a
can't.
Groupon day. Like, I don't have problems with if you
Tell
take
who
me
you
on
telling.
a
I don't like you using
Groupon
her
day.
Wrestlers got a Groupon right now. $75 for
I don't
two
believe
people.
this. We're in this together.
God.
I'm not that independent.
Like Groupon days, I feel like some men are scared to slide their phone inside the receipt or something like that. But to me, that tells me more about how you handle your money, whether you have it or not. Even if you don't have it, that lets me know that you're not trying to overspend and build up debt trying to be with me.
Right.
Live above your means.
I'm gonna say this.
or,
I'm gonna
you
say
know.
this because what we gonna probably get from the men is y'all different breed.
I about to
Because
say,
I
I
definitely heard
I
that.
would definitely have to
I
take
hear
devil's
that all the
advocate
time.
because
Right.
we were
We're
talking
different.
about conditioning earlier, and we, from what we're talking about here, we are a minority. Okay? So, because there are those ones that are out there,
$200
come on, I gotta get this, and I'm just going out with him for a date. And I think in one of my chats, I seen some male was saying that he knew a girl that was just like, oh, I need to eat this week, let me see who I can pick up out my DM. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there
Like,
are some
that's
chicks that do
selfish,
that.
and that's rude because I'm single, and these girls out here that are doing that,
Are you holding mic?
I am.
And she
She's like,
and she heard your
dead at the camera. I mean, you bring
They
the
can't
wine
see
to
your
the movie,
eyes,
I cook
girl.
dinner. Like, it don't
They
have
wanna
to
look
be.
into your eyes.
Okay, I'm
On
done.
the part.
I really do, though. I do like going. I'm very minimalistic. Like, it
And
don't
that's
take
how-
much.
And, well, I guess I want to, and that's like everybody said we're a different breed, but there's a lot of us though, and I think men don't. Granted, for every probably 1 out of 5, you're gonna run across the I'm just using him to get a meal.
Yeah.
But out of that 5, about 2 of us are like, bro, let's go walk in the park.
Yeah.
Talk over, honestly.
One thing I can't stand is for a man to say, "You want to go to a movie?" No,
Cause we not talking.
we not talking on the first day.
Honey, say it with your chest.
Okay.
She literally said it with her chest. Though.
That's how you get
good,
you different. And it's like, no, I can't talk to you in the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a first date.
And it's the first
And
day.
you
or
have
even
to
the second day.
ask.
And it's like, oh no, let's do
Oh,
something
are you
else.
going to do something? Or you want to get something to eat before, after? No, we can just go to the movie.
I'm not going.
Good.
No.
And then you in the movies talking to me.
No. Really? That has happened to you? Wow.
Oh.
I usually get the ones that are like, hey, what you doing? Oh, you want to hang out or like a first day? Oh, I could just come over to your house. No,
Yeah,
the
that's
H double hockey
definitely a new
stick you
thing.
can't.
I'm about to
You
get
can't even come to my house to pick me up. So why you think you
Yeah.
coming over?
To chill. I don't have time.
To chill. Move
I don't.
around.
I don't have
Move around. That's what I'm gonna use that.
He said I don't have
Or
an
internet.
It don't matter.
What you
guys.
want me to do?
He got cable because he got an app. He can put on your
He got somebody else signing.
You got a smart TV.
Well, we can't watch it on my
Look
phone. I got
up for you.
Simply Mobile.
Yeah.
Not.
Where the HDMI?
I cannot.
I also feel like too in this day and age, like where you're talking about, like guys don't even take the initiative. Like if you're going on a first date, like it's so many websites and on Instagram, people talking about A to Z dates. Pick 3 of them and just have a little list that you work
Yeah,
with.
you got
And-
sliding in the DMs, you got Tinder, you got a lot.
You got CharlotteOnTheCheap.com
There you go.
to find free stuff.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
They say that out of this
CharlotteOnTheCheap.com is free stuff. You can even go on the link that says free food. You can also go on the link to see
Right.
where they have free food for kids.
Yes.
I want a guy to be creative.
And that
Like
is Charlotte on the
outside of just the group prom or whatever. Like be creative. Like
Yeah.
Do some, because I'll show you did some research. You're looking
stuff,
up
but
something.
some stuff you don't even necessarily like. I said we're in North Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
So much.
Drive through the Parkway. 2-hour beautiful ride. We can talk. It's a road trip. Stop. Look at the beautiful scenery. That is outside of gas. Free 99.
Yeah.
Go to a waterfall and wait.
Oh yeah.
I think it depends on if a man is going to be open to that. And I
Yeah.
say that because I used to date this guy, and I said, I'm a very simple, type of woman. I'm single as well in the Charlotte area.
She's also single.
And,
So no long distance? Okay, I'm sorry, wrong part.
And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna take you on a date so you can see how I want to be courted.
Oh,
That's good.
Because I said, let me step outside the box and do something different to get a different
Show
result.
them what you're working with.
Was this
So-
date 1 or 2 though? Let's talk about it.
I had known him for months.
Oh, okay.
So this
Okay.
was, and I being
This was after
patient.
several errors.
Right, being patient. So I picked him up.
Answer the question. Was it?
I picked him
Trading
up.
places, Usher.
And
Okay.
Trading Places Usher. And we went axe throwing.
Oh,
wow.
So we had a ball. Great
fun.
time, axe throwing. Then we went and watched the game. It was great. And he was like, you know what? I get it. I understand. You know, I was like, okay, great. So now you see, I just want you to think outside the box. Like
Right.
was saying. You know, do something different. Ask me what happened.
What happened?
What happened? Was
Wait a minute. Hold on, girl. What happened?
I'm still single. They gotta be.
But what did he do?
I need details. What was his follow-up?
Right, exactly. That's
His follow up was that he just does not know how to do that.
But I just talked to
And I
you.
said, oh, okay.
Or it's okay to ask.
Well, he asked me, he said, how did you find that? And I said, I literally Googled dating, things to do, dating wise in
a
Charlotte.
man's best friend.
And I said, just a little effort.
Just
Just a little effort.
But it's really
Nothing
not
came of
even
that.
effort. It's just
Still
putting it in the
single.
good. Still single. 1 and 2. Single 1, single 2.
We do double date.
We do. We
Well, see, and I agree. That's to me. That's a turn off because not
'cause
only
now I've shown
have
you.
you right. You could have
So.
taken the initiative. I've shown you how to take the initiative. I've done it for you, and I've showed you how to do it. I've given you the cheat code,
The cheat code.
and you haven't even taken the
Yeah.
ability, the effort, the steps to just let me just go ahead because he could have just went to number 2 on the list.
Because
And you
legit, at this point, you've shown that you're down for anything. He could have been like, girl, let's go watch the alligators at, in the swamp somewhere. Like, you would be like, yes.
And
Like,
it
it don't
on the
even,
list that I was
yeah.
like, wow, we have that in Charlotte. Like I didn't even know
Exactly.
Axelrod was even here.
Even the
It's
waterfalls,
good.
like,
So it's
like
just taking the
he said,
initiative.
Like
The waterfalls
in
is
North Carolina, I was like,
it's
yeah,
so many.
But I think
And I
that
re-
speaks
Go
to
ahead, I'm sorry.
how future, long term. Like if you can't even take the initiative to think outside the box on a date, how are you going to think outside the box if we get in a sticky situation? I'm not saying that that's always going to be the case,
Well,
but that's
a
how
good-
my mind
yeah.
kind of thinks. Like this is simple. So what happens if long term
Solution.
something's not so simple?
Yeah,
Like, are you going to try to think outside the box to do
that
something
makes
to solve
sense.
it?
Wow, that's,
Past night.
yeah. Moment,
That's how I think.
Moment of
That's how I
silence,
think.
actually.
This is your
That's
approach
actually
to
good.
small things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And it might just be that may not be their area.
I was just about to say,
And
do
I
you
think it's
that's
just
the whole, and I hate to
I've
do
never
it.
had somebody because he could
Do
be the
it.
best dater right now.
Yes.
After her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's
Yeah.
just kind of like he didn't appreciate it enough to make those changes.
And I don't know if this is on topic or if this is stretching too much, but do you think we're so conditioned as African American or Black people, like we don't do that, or is that we're so used to? You see what I'm saying? I don't want to make it a race thing, but we do like to stick to traditions a lot, and so because that is were you wow. We don't have any on. Wait a minute, hold on.
Enough for all four of us?
I was actually just looking.
Can you
Go
hear?
ahead and top everybody else, bro.
There you go. Okay, I'm gonna come back to my point.
Wait a minute.
The
re-up.
So
Just a little bit. Just
I
enough.
think, dang, I was gonna
Okay,
say
that's
something.
good, that's good, 'cause
Talk about
no.
being creative.
No,
Go ahead
but
and
she's
kill
saying
it.
is it, because
Yeah, like, are we so stuck in tradition?
Go to like
Yeah.
axe throwing or the treehouse vineyards where they spend the night in a treehouse or
Oh, that would be so fun.
pottery
Some
making
s'mores.
or candle making. I'm just trying to pull, but
I
stuff
think
like
it
that.
just has to be. So there has to be balance. So
Yes.
you might be the creative date person,
Yes.
and they might be the we're gonna try a new restaurant.
Okay.
They might, they might be their thing is movies. So we're gonna go see the best movie and grab some casual food or something like that. Our
Okay.
favorite food. So it's gonna be a down to earth type night for when he does dates. When you do dates, I think alternating is big. I think it's good to do the dating part, but I also think like what you said. Sometimes people are just not exposed to those things
That's
and they
true.
don't know. And I think it's good that you did expose him to that and
Yeah.
you gave him that opportunity. And I would just suggest to keep doing that. Because even when we were dating, we were long distance. He came back, so Me and my husband, we met in college. We dated in college. He messed up. Like Toya be messing up.
Wait a minute.
He messed up. We went our separate ways. We reconnected. So when we reconnected, a whole bunch of stuff happened in 10 years of reconnection. And so I was just like, okay, cool. He coming to Charlotte visit. We going to the waterfalls. We drove to Linville Falls. And I was like, no phones. I printed out MapQuest directions, everything.
Well, you
and we talked
really
the entire time there.
Yeah.
We didn't use phones while we was there. Went to the waterfalls. And he was just like, I never would have thought of this. And loved it.
Yeah.
Like, he like all the outside walking around. He's like, hey, let's go up this hill. Let's do this. Let's do that. Doing all that stuff. But it's just one of the things where if they don't know, you wouldn't know. Because I was like, yeah, we ain't doing no phones that we talking.
So what about...
But all chicks don't like that, so the devil's advocate
That's true.
So you do a guy like that, and kind of like Tasha's situation is like, so, and he's just like, that's ain't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
What do you judge him off of that then?
I think
it's
take
about
that
effort.
Yeah,
I think it's
about
like D. Willie said, like it's about you have to give up the independence part and be like, okay, well maybe that just didn't work for him. Like, that's just not him. That's not his strong suit. So maybe something else is his strong suit.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I know like for me it's about effort. Like effort across the board. So whether that's with dating, whether that's with your job, whatever it is, it's just about effort and just trying. And if it's not your thing and you try, then that's fine, because like I could be there to pick up that slack. So where I'm great in something, you may be weak, and where I'm weak, you gonna pick it up. But if you at least trying, then that's the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So until you do that date, you may not know that he doesn't do that. So once
Sasha childish.
So
childish.
No more wine.
So-
No more alcohol.
Oh, I hear mine.
It's done.
So, as soon as you learn that, even if he's a simple guy, I feel like sometimes exposing him to different things helps, but only what he wants to be exposed to.
Right.
So like my husband be like, I ain't never eat all these foods till I met you. But he's open to eat certain things, and I try not to be overly forceful. Like, just try it. You never know. But it's just one of those things where, okay, cool, I know you'll try this. You may not try that. Same for me. I ain't going to do certain things.
Yeah.
You can go do that with somebody else. Like, it's just, but just figuring out what works and what they like, I think.
Let me talk about here.
Like, I don't do scary movies, so he can go see that by himself, or he can go do that with somebody else. It don't matter.
Somebody else.
A homegirl, a homeboy, I really don't care. It just ain't gonna be me. They on the other level on the other side of the table.
Yeah, we've been drinking a little bit more.
Sorry. And there's a
Don't do that.
I gotta check out Bible study.
Right?
I know about studying.
Yeah, I know it's stolen lunches.
Yeah.
Oh, you know that. Great. A way in.
Hey, we're on the podcast, guys.
Yo, it's elevation.
Oh, that's elevation.
Oh.
I'm gonna take a quick bath.
We keep party going, yo.
Right.
That's me right now.
Focus, ladies. Focus.
Listen, Jesus.
Oh, I
had
have
haters,
something. Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
Not
Jesus.
Get back on track. What women want.
too.
So-
You're right.
I was gonna say something, and I forgot where I wanted to plug this in at. But what about the thought that came to mind was casting your pearls before swine? Because I have done that before, as far as planning the date and doing all that, showing that different side, and maybe y'all can kind of help me out as far as like articulation at this point, because third cup. So
7-Eleven serving?
yeah. So stop.
Mind you, this is all video recorded.
So-
fun on YouTube.
Who forgot?
As I continue to sip.
So I've done that before. And then 2 to 3 weeks later, kind of like what Tasha said, where is he at now? Like, why am I still single? Like, I'm doing all of these things. So this might be a little off topic, but should there be some sort of like discretion on my part where I'm not just doing all that for any and everybody? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I think it comes down to effort. I think it comes back to effort.
Or should I always be me,
so-
no matter what? And
So
then if
always
it's not
be you, no matter
reciprocated,
what.
then I notice keep it stepping.
Unapologetically you.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
I think it just, like I said, comes back to effort. If you have, I posed the question for the effort part,
Right.
because say you do the waterfalls, he
Okay.
ain't digging it. It ain't his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well now the ball's in your court. Let me see what you're gonna bring to the table. If you do the movie,
Right.
it's my decision what I want to do from there. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's your decision. So I think for me, I think as women, we put a lot up front
Yeah.
before we allow them to.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they need to be initiating. They need to be showing the effort.
Right.
It shouldn't be us saying, you know, that's why I asked Tasha. I was like, so was this first date? Because
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like, if you really liking this dude, you really digging this dude,
Mhm.
like, it's just kind of like, well, let me see what you, if you're making an effort, all right, let me plan the date. Then I'll do the act throwing and whatever. And then,
Right.
then it's just like, if that's not your thing, all right, well, let me see what you plan.
Yeah.
That's honestly to me, because I just found out I've been burned by what you said. Like, I'm
Right.
giving my pearls, and it's just like, dudes are just like,
Right.
I'm getting hurt
Yeah.
because I'm doing all this stuff, showing him this
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
stuff, and he's just like, yeah, that ain't me. This is what you gonna get next.
Yeah.
Just chill. What?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm a big proponent of like matching my energy.
Mm.
So
That's true.
You
I
know,
was just about to say the
if
same
I'm
thing.
putting forth, my best foot forward,
Yeah.
and this is the type of energy I'm putting on, and
Yeah.
you're not matching my energy,
Yeah.
like to me, then that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're just not interested here.
Yeah.
Maybe this is
Yeah.
I'm turned off. So
I
maybe
always
might
use
need
the
to just-
analogy of one-on-one, like a game of one-on-one. So
Yeah.
we're passing the ball back and forth, but if you take these two, Jesus,
Y'all do know y'all
On video.
We're on video, right?
on video,
This is
She's
going on
single.
YouTube.
She's
send me the
single.
link so I can put it out there.
YouTube. Oh, I will. I'm gonna be like, bloop, bloop, bloop. Share.
But I always use the analogy of playing one-on-one. Now, if you decide to take your ball and go sit on the court, on your side of the bench over there, then I'm gonna go sit down too. If you decide to take your ball and go home, then I guess we're not playing no
Yeah.
more. You know what I mean? So I do use that, but I always am thinking, well, I'll change that now. I'm changing since I moved to Charlotte, and I think y'all do.
That's
I
good.
love all
Yeah.
y'all. You got, I really do. I appreciate Shell that I just met you,
Yeah.
but everyone.
Shalane, got my name right.
I was confused. I was like, wait, is that
Yeah, you mix both.
But
of
yeah,
them.
I did. But Shell, I got it right this time. But yeah, I do. I appreciate the women that I have met since I've been in Charlotte because I really am evolving. Like, D really got on me the other day, like legit. I didn't even know what
She
it
was
meant.
loving my dad.
I really was wilding, but she got me together. But even in this standpoint of thinking of me first, and that's okay.
Yes.
That's okay.
And it is okay. So kind of what you were saying, I feel like you should always give your all. So at one point I went into anybody that I ever meet as far as dating,
Mhm.
I want to give them 200% because if something happens, I'm not going to be regretting it.
There
I'm
you
not
go.
going to say, dang, I should have took them on this date, or dang, I should have did this. I did my part.
Right.
You lost.
And that's just the risk
Yeah,
that you
and that's the risk you're willing to take to give your all and throw yourself out there. You've been hurt before, right?
yeah.
You're gonna get hurt again.
Thank
Right.
you.
It's the
Okay.
same. Just keep going.
Okay.
So it's just you're gonna get hurt again. So once I just had to learn once you've been hurt before, it's like I'm gonna get hurt again. So
Yeah.
just let me just go all hands in on deck.
And even in a relationship,
Now,
you're
you gotta
gonna
make
get
some
hurt
dumb
again. Yeah.
decisions.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like I feel like now we're at a stage where you know what you want and what you need. And sometimes the people you meet are practice and learning steps for the next.
Okay.
And whether the next is the final or
Wow.
not. But you have to build upon that.
Mm.
So
I'm about to send you some adoption papers.
Okay.
I need a sponsor.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and write a book or whatever. But
say something to that. So the only thing I have to say, and this is my advice that I give to people now, and I'm only like 8-7 months, whatever in. So my advice is being independent is overrated, and your journey is your journey. Whether you're married, you're single, or whatever it is. Even if you meet somebody in the same industry as you, with the same position as you, that's black, with the same age as you, and from the same city you from, it's still not, your journey is still going to be different.
True.
And how you operate is still going to be different. There's no advice, marital, single, whatever advice I can give you that's gonna change the steps and decisions you make, because what your journey
Is
your
your
journey.
Facts.
And you can't listen to people and so much advice, whether they married, single, or divorced, or whatever they've been through, because they're not you. They don't have the same two parents as you.
Right.
I mean, even your siblings, they have the same blood as you. There's still going to be different things because you're just built different. So just keep that in mind when people are giving advice.
Yeah.
So you take it and it's like, oh, that's an option. Let me think that way. Because you only, you may think this way and that way, but that's another way to think. But that's not the end all be all.
Right. Take the meat, spit out the bones.
So,
Take the meat.
granted, we're a small group.
Wow.
And the question is broad, what women want. So how I want to end it is, what advice do you have for men on the way we think? That's initially what it comes down to, because we can't speak for the entire women collective when we say what women want. But it's just like, what advice would you give men on what it is that, what we look for? I mean, initially what you want, but, what advice would you have for men?
So I think Taj, mic check 1 2 1 2.
Tosh on the mic.
Yes.
This is
So
out of,
I think
All Pro calls you out of state tuition, by the way. You've
Yes.
been mentioned a couple
because
times
he's
on the
a
show.
hater. If anybody knows All Pro, tell him he's a hater.
Okay.
So I think my advice would be to truly get to know the woman.
Yeah.
Block out all the people that are trying to
Don't listen to what people say.
Okay.
They don't about you and me. But it out your mind, cause it's jealousy. They don't know about this. Okay, go ahead.
So block out all the, I can't think of the words I'm trying to say because I'm also
Past hurts. Past,
yes,
like,
block out that and truly take each situation and each woman differently.
Yeah.
Because
Things like
I think sometimes like people go into it with what happened in their past.
Yeah.
So everyone deserves a clean slate
Yeah.
and just truly get to know that woman and take it situation by situation.
Yeah.
I would
Slide in my
say,
DMs.
I
but you didn't drop your idea.
I will slide in DMs. I do.
I would say the advice I would give, and I'm also single, but I got a little roster. If y'all want to join the team, let me know.
She's being upfront honest. She's being upfront honest. She's being upfront
Because
honest.
men take it as a challenge. And
Come
they
on,
ready.
come on.
Come on, star player. Let me know and I'll drop the team. It ain't nothing, hey, anybody can get cut any day. So, anyhow, continue. I would give the advice, basically, how we were talking about before, to just listen. Like, listen to me. Back to again where I was talking about the cheat codes. Like, I am telling you what I'm about, what I'm interested in, what I want, what I need. Listen to it. Like, if I'm telling you this, don't give me what you think I need. Don't give me what you want me to need. Don't give me, none of that. I'm telling you, I'm pretty clear and direct, and just take that.
Yeah.
And I would say the same, for some other women too. If you just really listen to them, they'll tell you, what they're about, what they want, what they're really trying to be about.
Yeah.
In the words of grandmother,
Yes.
shout out grandma.
Come on, my D.
When people show you who they are,
Believe.
believe them.
Yes.
That was nice.
You wanna go?
Come on, mama.
Okay.
Oh, don't try to go for this one.
Let her go.
Let her go last. This one got to go last. D really got to go last.
Marriage be dropping
Gems and wisdom, all kind of.
women alike.
learning experience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a learning
Let me
experience.
write this down. Let me pause this so I can write this down. Rewind. Okay, so my big thing, what we kind of talked about earlier, is like, especially for me, I don't, I feel like you ain't got no kids, D. So I'm the only single mother out the group. Like, really don't waste my time, because it's not just me. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what up front what you're trying to do, because, and I always say, and I really don't, I say it jokingly, no disrespect to my son's father, but I always say, because it just comes out, I'm looking for a daddy, okay? In as far as me and as far as my son is concerned, and not in the sense that he needs his dad, because he knows his dad is an active part in his life. However, his dad is in Virginia. I'm here in Charlotte, so therefore he's not an everyday fixture in his life right now. So I'm looking for somebody to be that male role model for my son, as well as be there for me and support me in raising him. So please do not waste my time. If you are here and you just want to be, and almost flipped again. If you just want to be a cut button.
She said
I'm
trying to be explicit here.
But I'm trying to be safe. I'm trying to be safe. I'm trying to watch my, you know what I'm saying?
They done cursed before if you don't listen.
We going to Bible study after this, so we gotta.
Right. We going to Bible study. Oh, we're not going to bring it back in. So anyways,
Well, me and Tasha going to Bible study.
Right. Yes.
And they all melanated, y'all. But anyway.
Exactly.
Talking into
Hey.
trying to talk.
Come on now, Toya.
But yes, don't waste my time. Just let me know what's up front, you know, because, and like Tasha said earlier, let me make that decision. You know what I mean? I appreciate honesty, and it may hurt, but at least we'll know where to go from. I'm really big. That's one of the biggest thing, and shout out to my ex back in the day. But the biggest thing that I learned from him was boundaries, and I respect boundaries. But you got to let me know. And aside from that, obviously that's going to be customized to who the person is. And, you know, we would talk about that as far as what I actually expect with said boundary. But don't be afraid to say, hey, this is what I want. You know, because you will never get the truest answer if you give me a half truth.
Right.
And with that, we're looking for twins.
Yes, I'm gonna play with her.
No, for real. And then because I would like at least 2 more children, and then I could be one and done.
You talking about marrying a twin or having twins?
No,
I'm saying we're looking
2
for
brothers.
twins. One for me, one for her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was just saying.
I'm like my blessing.
So 5'4" twins, strong black men.
Strong.
That's the ad guys. Did y'all,
Right.
you know,
With broad shoulders.
Right. Okay.
Broad shoulders.
Yes.
And
So,
a nice neck.
what women want?
Yes.
I think what everybody said, from Tasha saying the not bringing baggage, leave your past where it is, giving everybody a clean slate is good, as well as
Go ahead and take it to the head. Take it to the head. Take it to the head.
She was like,
the baggage. I think being honest. Dang, I just forgot what she had said because you started talking about
Listening.
Yes, listening. Listening is really big. Listening and understanding. I think communicating and being honest. And I think on top of those things would be consistency and being you. Because I feel like when you're being you, true to who you are, you're able to go in different settings.
Right.
And I have to accept you for who you are. And I'll say I commend my husband for being that way, where it's just like he's so versatile and he can go in any room, whether we got to wear a suit or we got to wear some jeans and make sure we got a pocket to put the gun in. Like, you got to be able to have, you know, if it's a one... I'm just saying you have to be, you want a man that has the diversity, right? So I want to be able to, I can go in a club with you, but I can also go to church with you, and I can also go into a corporate setting with you. I can also take you to my hood, because everybody's hood is not the same hood. Right. And so I think being able to be you and being able to operate in those areas, I feel like that's big. Yeah. And so, but make sure being you is being honest and you're a good listener and you don't carry baggage. Yeah. And I think working on those things is very helpful. And Tasha want to get on the mic.
Mic check 1 2. So with that, I'm gonna add one last thing and say, be yourself and be upfront. Do not send your representative.
Yes. Oh, never leave you. Be you at all times.
Stop sending your representative, because it's like you're wasting time. You're not listening. You're doing all the things that we're saying we do not want. Yeah. So if you just be your organic self and show up, I think we.
And that's for everybody. Place. Like, the more you act like yourself, the more you are organically you, the quicker you'll find the one that is meant for you, and you will stop
living in a house with them.
Everybody,
it ain't nothing new.
And you don't have to waste 3 months. Like, okay, I know they're gonna send their 3 months. They're gonna be their representative, and then I'll know the real person in 4 months. Like, let's just stop And you just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
And lastly, women would like for you to go on the Winter Escape trip. You can go at Winter Escape.
Okay,
Escape like the
plug.
group. Well, I was gonna do the
Yes.
shout out.
And
If anybody had a plug,
Yeah.
well, just wait.
Okay,
wait.
don't act like you didn't hear that.
No, it'll come in here.
I am here
It's gonna be a
three
No, because you have other endeavors. So yes, I was trying.
Yeah.
I am here for it. Yes.
Gonna finish the conversation and it's like,
Yeah.
yo's on the mic.
Yo's on the mic.
But no, did we get out? Well,
I think that's all.
no, I
want to add too.
Oh,
also,
okay,
my
never
bad.
mind.
I'm
No,
yeah.
good.
You know, also, hold us accountable. I have
That's
some guy
true.
friends who will say, well,
Yes.
I do this and this and that, but women, they this and this and this. Well, hold us
That's
accountable.
true.
Call me out, Call us out on what it is.
That's
We can.
so
I can
true.
accept when I'm
Because I
wrong.
wouldn't be who
And,
I
you
am
know,
if I didn't call out.
Yeah.
Every
So
day.
that's
Because if I don't know, I can't do better.
Exactly.
You know, they say
And we are a different breed, but there's a lot of us out there. But yeah, I like to be like, I'm all about growing and becoming better. So I know I'm not perfect in a relationship.
Again.
Like I know I'm an independent woman. I know I'm gonna do things that's gonna aggravate the shit out of him,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. So that's when you be like, look, stop. I got this. Like I would love to hear that. Look, hey, stop.
Yeah.
Chill. I got this.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That whole
Y'all seen, wait a minute, because I seen this clip earlier. You remember the episode Different World when
Oh,
Whitney
yes.
got mad
and he shut her down.
He was just like, look, I can live without my furniture. I can't live without you.
Yeah.
Let's go and let's fix this.
And she was like, ooh.
She said,
That's
I love
what
it when
we
you
do.
talk dirty to my daddy.
She said, bye. Right. So
I ran.
like in a
On
nutshell,
tiptoes.
honestly, yeah.
Let's go.
Like we talk and we talk and we might be mouthy, but at the end of the day, you can like, hey,
Because that authority,
honey.
can we
Because we want the security, we want the protection.
give a
want
moment of
that
silence for the authority?
As they take selfies.
Yes. No, but I agree. And I was gonna say something else, but I forgot.
She was wrapping up,
Okay, cool. We can do that. This is fun. I like this.
Yeah. Ain't nothing left for this Yeah, we have to do this again. Yeah, we have to do this.
No.
So, does anyone have anything that they would like to plug as far as IG, email, or business endeavors? So back to what we were saying about Winter Escape.
What about it, girl?
So, if you would love to be around beautiful women, as well as men are there too. But what women want is men to go on trips.
Yes.
Yes. And to travel.
Yes.
Yes. We have a great opportunity for you. Winter Escape. This drops on what, Tuesday? Yes.
I
So
think
by
the first-
Tuesday, we will have the location release.
Yeah.
Location release is on April 1st, so it will be yesterday when you listen to this. And Winter Escape like the group, on Instagram and Facebook. Our trip is in January, international trip. January 2020. January 2020. WX 2020. That is the hashtag. You can follow us there to get all of the updates and details.
Yes.
As well as if you are getting married this year or next year, you're welcome to call me to be your day of coordinator. You can contact me at ID23 events. As well as if you would like to have a silent party, we have headphones for that as well.
Yes. Come on.
This is D. Willie reporting live.
Yes. And we're out.
Does anyone have any other
So-
plugs or anything else? She gotta put
Absolutely,
their
gotta
IGs,
plug,
baby, because you
hit me up
single.
on the IG, Taj Pretty Tasha. That's TAJ Pretty, PRETTY, Tasha, TASJ.
This one.
On Instagram, holla at your girl, doing great things on there. Taj signing out.
And she's
And she's single.
And she's single. I'm a self-entity. I don't really have much to plug about myself, except I'm here. Y'all can follow me if you want to at Duke PA on Instagram. Sometimes I post some stuff. Sometimes I post some things on my IG story. If you want to join the roster, this is a good place to, go ahead, slide in the DM.
Bible study not gonna like that. Really?
I got a couple open spots, And I'll follow you back. Okay.
Okay, pretty Tosh. So this is Latoya again, aka Latoya Ray. If you would like to follow me, you can do so on IG at Tottie TOTTIE _ Ray RWAY. I'm complicated on purpose.
I wasn't.
So I was like, just go ahead and but I promise you, if you put in Toddy _ it'll come up TOTTIE. And then I have a my little
Like doing it now.
yeah, right now. My little entrepreneurial idea right now is Her Black Ain't Broke, and that is HBABROKE. And what I do is I try to connect women of color, and I focus on mental health, I focus on financial stability, I focus on health and wellness, entrepreneurial tips. I'm just getting started. I just started it last year, September, so I'm not as active on that page, but it's going to change because I'm around a great circle of Black women, and we're going to get it popping.
And she's going to be active.
Okay, you need some healthcare tips, I'll let you go. Hey, look at that networking.
Look at that.
We got cut off.
No. It's the outro.
You got
Thank you, ladies.
She put the Grammy music on.
Yes,
She did. That's why I was like, oh, we got cut off.
Joining us on What Women Want.
Bible study.
Y'all right.
Bible study.
Glory be to God.
Oh my God, y'all.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Yes.
Y'all out of control.
No, y'all are out of control.
This is
Sasha in his
I cannot.
situation.